Hello, folks, and welcome back to Gearbox Podcast, your weekly dose of podcast. And we are back after quite some time. 2023, a new season for Formula One. So many things will change. And yeah, we are here to bring you all the news with me and Moxie. Moxie, how have you been?
I've been good actually. Pretty sad because the new Formula One season hasn't started yet, but we're just expecting it to arrive as soon as possible. So let's just get into it and comment a lot of things that have happened in the Formula One world.
Yeah, and what a way to start the season. Of course, we're now at the winter break. Formula One hasn't started yet, and we are waiting for the testing in Bahrain. And it will happen less than a month right now that we are recording this podcast. And what a way to tell about our predictions now. Of course, by the time that we are recording this podcast, only Haas and Red Bull have revealed their livery. Haas with something different, of course, with Monogram, their new sponsor. It's definitely quite different. They had to mix the black with the white and the red. It's quite different than what we've seen in 2022 and definitely what we saw in 2021 with Nikita Mazepin and Mick Schumacher as the two drivers in Haas F1. And Red Bull, of course, we didn't expect much, and we were right. Moxie, what is your opinion on this?
Yeah, about the Red Bull livery, it just basically the same, nothing changed. I was quite disappointed yesterday that the Red Bull team, when Red Bull team revealed the livery for this season. But yeah, I mean, it's just basic and normal, but it's still Red Bull, so Red Bull fans might have some hype for this season. The Haas livery is has changed a lot. I really like that the whole colorful theme with black and white and the red, of course. The new sponsor, and yeah, just the Red Bull was quite disappointing. Let me tell you that.
Yeah, I mean, in my opinion, the Red Bull livery hasn't changed a lot since I can remember. And it's been some years that they had a purple finish to the car. If you remember, in 2013, 2012, they had a different color to it. But to be honest, I don't have a problem with this livery. I'm not a huge fan of the livery, but you don't have to change something that isn't broken, and it's pretty well done actually. The livery, I don't have a problem with it. But with a Haas livery, I have some mixed emotions, to be honest with you. It's definitely, I guess I could say, easy made, but I have mixed emotions about it. Moxie, what is your full opinion though on the Rebel livery? Do you agree that the livery is quite well made and that's why they don't change it?
I mean, yeah, the livery doesn't have any problem. I really like it. Don't get me wrong, but when a new Formula One season arrives, you expect the teams to have changed something in their livery because every season something has to change. But as it is, yeah, I mean, I'm not a huge Red Bull fan, but still, I appreciate the whole team and what they have done to this Formula, what they have give to this uh, to the Formula One community, all the emotions, all the feelings. But I expected something else, something more like I would like them to have put the white color as they did in 2021 in Turkey, something like that. But as it is, let's just move on, and I'm gonna get along with it, I suppose.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you on this. But I think it's time now that we get on with the main topic of the podcast. As you probably have understood from the thumbnail and from the title, we are going to talk about the drivers and the constructors standings, our predictions for the 2023 season. Let's start with the driver standings. Moxie, what do you believe is going to happen in 2023?
So let's start off with the last place. P20 is going to be Logan Sargent, the new Williams driver. Uh, I think that he's not going to have any points this season because he's a starter and his team is not that good. So that's why I put him in the 20th place. P19 is going to be Kevin Magnussen with the Haas, alongside P18 Nico Hulkenberg, again with the Haas. I don't think that they're going to have any impact on this season because they're two drivers that have experienced a few issues in the past, and I think that they're not going to get along with themselves. Uh, P17 is going to be Zhou Guanyu with Alfa Romeo. P16, Alex Albon, the Williams driver. I think he's going to be the surprise. He's going to have a four position gap with Logan Sargent, and I think it's going to be a surprise for this Formula One season. Then P15, we got Yuki Tsunoda with the Alpha Tauri. P14, Lance Stroll with the Aston Martin. P13, Nick DeVries with the Alpha Tauri, the new Alpha Tauri driver, who replaced Pierre Gasly, who we're going to talk about him in a few seconds. P12 is going to be Valtteri Bottas with the Alfa Romeo. P11 is going to be Esteban Ocon with the Alpine. I don't think that he's going to be in the first 10 positions. He's going to be P11. P10, Fernando Alonso with the Aston Martin. P9, the big surprise, Carlos Sainz with the Ferrari. Okay, so this is kind of controversial, but in my opinion, I think we're going to see other drivers who are going to be even further in table, like the two McLaren drivers who are going to be above him. We're going to talk about them in a minute. Pierre Gasly P8 with the new Alpine driver who replaced, if I remember correctly, Fernando Alonso, who changed to Aston Martin. P7, Lando Norris with the McLaren. P6, Joe Russell with the Mercedes. P5, Oscar Piastri with the McLaren, the new driver, the starter. He's going to be in the first 5 positions. I really believe in his abilities, and I really believe that he's going to overpass his teammate Lando Norris. P4 is going to be Sergio Perez with the Red Bull. P3, Charles Leclerc with the Ferrari. P2 is going to be Max Verstappen. And the big surprise, and in my opinion, I think that this is going to happen. We're going to see for the first time in the Formula One history an 8th world time champion, Lewis Hamilton, in P1 with the Mercedes. These are my drivers' standings for Formula 1023. Nick, what about you?
Well, I really like your predictions. It's really bold, and I think there is some evidence to it, definitely. But I really have a different spice to it, in my beliefs. So let's hear them. In P20, I have Logan Sargent. I don't really think that as a rookie, he doesn't have really the experience, which it's quite all right, definitely. In Formula 2, as a rookie as well, he managed to get lots of points, showing his talent as well. But with the car that I believe Williams will have and his abilities as a rookie in Formula One, I just don't think he's going to score any points at all. And he's going to struggle in his first year in Formula One. Definitely, he has a good future in this sport, but I just don't think 2023 is going to be his year. So I have P20 for Logan Sargent, P19 to Joe Guan Yu. This is a definitely controversial one because I guess many people do not believe this. He scored his first point in Bahrain last year, or his first ever race, with a car that was really fast. The Alfa Romeo at the start of the season was really good. But after that, Valtteri Bottas started to struggle a lot with the engine. The car started to be a bit slower. It couldn't continue evolving just like the other cars could. And that's the reason that they didn't have such a good place at the end of the season in the Constructors' Championship. But yeah, this is my opinion. I think that Joe Guan Yu is going to fill the 19th place in the drivers' standings. P18, it's Alex Albon. Again, Alex Albon, a great driver, but I just don't think the Williams car is going to be good to compete with the rest of the pack. I think he's going to get some points, definitely, but not my ideal driver to be higher up the standings. So P17, Yuki Tsunoda. I believe that AlphaTauri is going to be having a better season than last year in 2022, where they finished, if I remember right, P9 in the Constructors, which was really devastating. But I believe from last year's, they take some ideas and parts from Red Bull because we can understand that AlphaTauri is obviously a partner with AlphaTauri, as you can understand. I believe, though, that Yuki Tsunoda is not going to be good to provide the points for the team. P16 and P15, I have Nico Hulkenberg and Kevin Magnussen. Both drivers, I think they have the same ability. I don't really have a clue where they're going to finish. Haas, I probably not going to have the best season. Definitely quite the same than the 2022 season, but I don't really believe the two pairings are gonna go quite well, as you've seen with the memes as well. So definitely, I don't think the car is gonna be competitive, which is gonna cause to have few points the drivers. P14, have Valtteri Bottas, number 77. The man will, for his car abilities, he will have a good season in my opinion. Just like he has pretty much all the time, and he provides good for his team. I just don't believe he's gonna have good chances in the top 10. P13, the first Aston Martin driver, of course, Lance Stroll. He's definitely going to be worse than Fernando Alonso, and I think we can understand that by the experience that the two drivers have. I think that Lance Stroll is going to get some good points, but he's not gonna be that high up the standings. So I think P13 Lance Stroll. P12 Nick De Vries, the last AlphaTauri driver. Of course, there's a huge gap between Yuki and Nick, but I believe that De Vries is going to have a pretty good race in total in the season, and I believe he's going to do pretty well. P11, the first Alpine driver, Esteban Ocon, number 31. I think Esteban is not going to be as good as Pierre Gasly as we've seen in further seasons, even though that their stats are quite the same. If they have the same car, I think that Gasly is going to be quite better. P10, we're already halfway through to my standings. I think that Fernando Alonso is going to get this position, no questions needed. He has the talent, he has the ability, he has the experience, and I think that he's going to get as much out of the car as possible. P9, I really liked the fact that you said that Oscar Piastri is going to be in the top five, but I just don't think that he is going to be in a car that McLaren are going to produce. So I have Oscar Piastri in P9. Again, I think he will take probably 10 races, or maybe after Spa in the summer break, he might fully come close with the car and probably start having the same results as Lando Norris, a more experienced driver. And I think the two pair are gonna finish on pretty much the same points at the end of the season, which leads us to P8, Lando Norris. Again, the same thing with Oscar Piastri. They're gonna have pretty much the same result. P7. Not so many people believe in this, but have Sergio Perez. I think that he's not gonna have a good season with a car that I don't think is going to be quite fast. P6, I have Pierre Gasly with the Alpine. I think he's gonna have a beautiful season with a car that could definitely be really fast, but not such a big difference with Sergio Perez and Lando Norris, and of course Oscar Piastri. I think they're going to be quite close on terms of points. I have P5 for Max Verstappen, the man who has won two drivers' championships in a row. I don't think he's going to have a good car to compete with the rest of the pack in front, but I think he's going to get some wins, definitely a lot of podiums, but just not the right material to go and win his third in a row, I think. I have P4, the first Ferrari driver, Carlos Sainz. Just like in 2022, he was really struggling, but he showed some good results, of course, with the win in Silverstone. It was really good, and I think it was a great win for him. But I don't think he's gonna produce better results. P3, I have Lewis Hamilton. Again, I think he's going to be worse in results than George Russell. I think George is going to be pretty good in this season. So he will take the P2 result, the young Brit with the number 63. And of course, first place, I think it's going to be redemption for Charles Leclerc. He's going to take the 2023 Drivers' Championship and win his first, just like Kimi Raikkonen did in 2007. He's going to uh, get the revenge that Ferrari want and need and deserve. And he definitely deserves to get this after being such a good driver and losing this championship last year in 2022. So, Moxie, what is your opinion about the constructor?
So let me just firstly say that your prediction is really good, really well thought. We had a few differences, but still we got P11 and P10 right with Ocon and Alonso, which is remarkable since we have different opinions most of the time. So let me just go right now and predict the constructor standings for the Formula 1 2023 season. As my driver standings stand, in P10 is going to be Haas. Like I said in the beginning, I don't think that Haas is going to have a solid season. I think they're going to struggle, and that's why I've put them in the 10th place. In P9, Williams, with Alex Albon being the surprise and of course, overtaking and surpassing Haas in the constructor standings. P8 is going to be AlphaTauri. Again, not a really solid season for them. They're going to have their ups and downs, but I think that in the end, they're going to finish in the P8. So in the 7th place, Alfa Romeo with Valtteri Bottas having a huge gap with Zhou Guanyu, five positions. So that's why I've put them in P7. P6 is going to be Aston Martin, the big surprise again, as we all know that Aston Martin finished in a really, not really good, in a really bad place in the previous constructor standings. So I've put them in this order because of the Fernando Alonso's experience. So that's why I put them in the 6th place. Then in the 5th place, we've got Alpine, a solid season for them. Again, they're going to be surpassed by McLaren, as I have huge hopes for Oscar Piastri and Lando Norris, as I think that they're going to have a really good season. 4th place, of course, McLaren. 3rd place, Ferrari, because of the huge gap between Leclerc and Carlos Sainz, 6 positions. So that's why I've put them in the 3rd place. Then we've got in the 2nd place Mercedes. Of course, Hamilton, in my prediction, is going to win the Formula 1 2023 season, but I don't think that is going to be enough for them to win the Constructors, as Red Bull are going to have a solid season, P2 and P4 for them. Max Verstappen in P2 and Sergio Perez in P4, and that's why I think that they're going to win the constructor standings in for the 2nd time in a row. Nick, what about you?
Yeah, I really like the fact that even though, in your opinion, Lewis Hamilton is going to get the drivers' championship, you don't think that Mercedes are going to be as good to have the constructors as well, which is quite the same as my opinion. So for me, P10 is Williams. I think it's pretty obvious with Sargent not having a good result in the 2023 season. I don't think he's going to get enough points to go to P9, where I have Alfa Romeo, which I think they're going to struggle a lot, just like they did at the second half of the 2022 season. P8, I have Haas, which, in my opinion, they're going to have a great fight between Alfa Romeo and Alfa Tauri, where they are P7, Nick De Vries and Yuki Tsunoda. I think they're going to have enough points to finish in this position. P6, Aston Martin, just like you said, I think that it's going to be quite a surprise. They're going to have a better result in points in total, and they're going to secure P6 really easily. P5, I have Alpine. Again, I think that McLaren and Alpine are going to continue fighting as the top of the midfield, but I think that Alpine is going to have worse results than McLaren. So yeah, that's P5 for me. P4, McLaren, with two great driver pairings. Hopefully, Oscar Piastri lives up to the expectations that I have, and he will get the good points with Lando Norris for the P4 place in the constructors. P3, I have Red Bull. I just don't think they're gonna have the right car to live up to the expectations that they had and the results that they had in the 2022 season. P2, have Ferrari. Again, just like you, I think that the team who is going to get the drivers' championship is not going to get the constructors. So that's why I'm putting P2, the Scuderia team. But yeah, P1 will be down to Mercedes. I think that George Russell and Lewis Hamilton are pretty good drivers, and they're going to have enough points to get the Constructors' Championship at the end of the 2023 season. So, yeah, this is my opinion on this. What do you think?
Yeah, like the driver standings, we had a few differences, but we have actually the same thoughts about this season. I mean, we have uh, we have said most of the drivers, we have put most of the drivers in the same position, which is quite good. And I think that you're pretty accurate, except for a few differences that, in my opinion, are going to change. But still, we're just going to see a fantastic season. Let's hope that this season will be remarkable for us and for our channel, because a new chapter is going to start. 2023, baby. Let's do this.
Yeah, I really can't wait for the season to start. Definitely will keep you guys cozy and nice with race previews. And of course, F1 Legends is going to continue. And probably, you never know, we might have some ideas up our sleeves for new podcasts to come. So, yeah, and definitely we would love to hear your predictions about the 2023 season. Of course, you can share it to us in the comments. And that is about it. So, it was Nick,
It was Moxi.
and we'll see you guys for the next one. See ya.
See you guys.